evening, welcome to Have I Got News For You? I'm Steph McGovern. In the news this week, in London, at a matinee performance of Magic Mike XXL, dancers report being put off by two women on a leaving do in the front row.
Liz Truss into his coffee looking glum.
At a coffee morning in Yorkshire, a man reacts badly to the news they've run out of custard creams. And at the end of a tough few days in Westminster, Jeremy Hunt celebrates keeping his job as Chancellor with a relaxing evening at his local TGI Fridays. On Ian's team tonight is a mathematician who presented an episode of Horizon entitled 10 Things You Need to Know About the Future. Thanks, but I think at the moment we'll just try and get through one day at a time. Please welcome Professor Hannah Fry. On Paul's team tonight is a Scottish comedian who is blind, which means that he's just about the only person in Glasgow who you can't greet with the words, "See you, Jimmy." Please welcome Jamie MacDonald. So we begin with the bigger news stories of the week. Ian and Hannah, take a look at this.
Ah, that's Liz Truss leaving. She's very happy. Not as happy as us.
This week's Prime Minister?
Yep, 5 minutes I've got. Jacob Rees-Mogg, no entry. We're not even thinking about it.
Rishi there's just heard that Boris's interior designer's free.
Quite a visual show.
Yes, it's visual, isn't it?
So we've got another Prime Minister.
Yeah.
And I think this programme goes out in time for that to be an accurate statement. It's a nice change for us.
I noticed that, the Queen, the longest reigning monarch, coincided with the shortest Prime Minister term. And if every Prime Minister under the Queen had lasted the same length of time as Liz Truss, she would have had 560 Prime Ministers. Which means in the end we all would have had a go.
Would you like to see Rishi's moment of triumph?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, watch how enthusiastically he thanks all those people who mean so much to him. And Matt Hancock.
Just walk past.
What a snub.
Yeah, I think Matt Hancock was expecting a grope at least.
Get another PM that's been to Oxford. Him, Oxford, Liz Truss, Oxford,
Yeah.
Boris Johnson, Oxford, David Cameron, Oxford.
What are you saying?
Well, I mean, what is it about Oxford that produces an endless list of bozos that come in front of us? Like you. Endless list of bozos.
Did you hear how Keir Starmer greeted him?
He congratulated him, didn't he?
Yeah, he said in Rishi Sunak's first Prime Minister's question time, the only time he ran in a competitive election, he got trounced by the former Prime Minister, who herself got beaten by a lettuce.
I do wonder if that lettuce is still going. I think they should do a winner stays on with Rishi.
I mean, Truss must be off salads for life.
How did Rishi Sunak try to distance himself from Liz Truss?
By saying that there were lots of mistakes that had been made and he was going to fix them.
Yeah, he said he was here to fix her well-intentioned mistakes. And one of the first
He's
things...
just taking the... Sorry.
And one of the first things he did was show some respect to Scotland. He rang Nicola Sturgeon and he said, "Hello, is that Nicola? You're not getting a referendum." What did you think, by the way? Because obviously Rishi rang Nicola Sturgeon, Liz Truss didn't.
I don't know if Liz knew how to use a phone.
I mean, she was only in office for like 45 days, right? Which isn't even enough time to get a broadband appointment. So I strongly suspect that the reason that she was doing all of this because she just didn't have any internet access to the news.
Rishi's quite a lot different from Liz Truss, although they apparently share the same programmer. Have a look at this.
And I will work day in, day out to deliver for the British people.
What did Rishi Sunak enter Downing Street without?
A mandate.
He went in without his wife.
Boris Johnson did that repeatedly.
Is it because he tried to explain to her what a flat was and she was like, I'm not having any of it?
He also went in without his personal lectern, because obviously, you know, each Prime Minister gets a lectern, and he didn't have time to have one designed for him, like Liz Truss's Jenga-themed one, which kind of represents her tenure, doesn't it, as Prime Minister? An unstruck, you know...
It is fabulous, isn't it? Events spiralling out of control.
Yeah.
Do you think when Liz Truss plays Jenga, she just goes and smashes the tower and then says, look, mistakes were made, I own
I mean, normally ex-prime ministers can look forward to a career of sort of making big speeches and being paid lots of money to do this and travel around America. And is she going to get the same deals, do you think?
No. I think there are a lot of Rotary clubs.
It'll be quite a wee memoir.
Yeah. my hours in down.
Disastrous.
Yeah.
The big Boris bounce back didn't happen. Why did he withdraw if he had enough MPs to nominate him?
I thought you were going to cut it as why didn't he withdraw?
He interrupted a holiday in the Caribbean to come back to announce this wasn't the right time for him to be Prime Minister. But I reckon he was given a preview of what this inquiry is going to say about him misleading Parliament.
Yeah,'t had a preview of it, and it's, was Boris guilty? And the answer is yeah.
Who got into trouble for laughing about it?
It was a BBC presenter, wasn't it? She was
yes.
taken off the air for being gleeful about
Yes.
it.
I think gleeful is actually quite a balanced response. Ecstatic is sort of the correct response.
Yeah, the BBC's Martine Croxall on the late-night BBC newspaper review. He assures not long after the news of Boris's withdrawal broke.
Well, this is all very exciting, isn't it? Hello and welcome to our look ahead to what the papers will be bringing us tomorrow. Am I allowed to be this gleeful? Well, I am.
How did Boris's hard-working team take it?
They were quite cross.
Yeah.
Because he didn't tell a lot of them.
The political website quoted one staffer saying, if I see him, he better hope he's got a quick flight back to the Dominican Republic. What a complete and utter to march up to people like that and say, oh, yeah, it's definitely happening.
Was that his wife?
What about the new cabinet? Is it a gathering of all the talents together or the same old rubbish? Gov's back, Raab's back.
I thought it was quite nice for him to find a seat around the table for Dominic Raab. It's like the one in the corner with the colouring pencils.
Yeah, I think it's difficult announcing a cabinet of all the talents when you have none to draw. But there's no Rees-Mogg there, so we have to count small blessings.
Yeah. He's gone back to haunting Ebenezer Scrooge, I think.
He resigned shortly before he was sacked.
Yeah, we've got his resignation letter here.
It's written in Latin. It's like an extract from the Bible.
What do Liz Truss and Boris Johnson get now?
150 grand a year?
Yeah.
She still gets her honours list, though.
Oh, yes.
And the only people I think that's done her some great service are her removal men.
They are both entitled to £115,000 in parachute payments to help them adjust to normal life. We still haven't actually heard the outcome of Boris Johnson's honours list.
No, well, he tried to give honours to his friends, and Liz Truss can't really do that because she doesn't have any.
So we still don't know if we'll see Lady Nadine or not, do we? But what's she been up to this week?
She took over from Piers Morgan's TV show. He went on holiday, and it didn't go well.
Yeah, Nadine Dorries has been sitting in for Piers Morgan's smash hit talk TV show. Piers Morgan unwatched.
Oh, really? I think that's very unfair.
Right, let's see how she did.
Welcome to Piers Morgan Uncensored.
Coming up on tonight's programme, for a change, a man who is going to clear up a woman's mess. That's Rishi's vow as he enters number 10. As you were, Sunak's stability extends to the cabinet with the big beefsteak and all cages but Bradman back at home in the Home Office. Sorry, I've just completely messed up.
At least she's a better presenter than she is a politician.
Right, this is the news that Rishi Sunak is this week's Prime Minister. Here's Rishi outside the door of number 10. Not only is he the first British Asian Prime Minister, he's the first that can go in through the cat flap. Jacob Rees-Mogg dated his resignation letter St Crispin's Day, which is apt because St Crispin is the patron saint of cobblers. Paul and Jamie, what's going on here?
Shall I describe what's happening?
I could have a guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's either Vladimir Putin or China. That's the
Yeah,
one.
it's
Is it both?
But I'll give you a clue. It's about the Ford Fiesta not being produced anymore.
Oh, Xi Jinping just bought one.
Yeah, he's just bought one. He's just bought one.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, the Ford Fiesta's no longer being produced.
Yeah. This is the news that after 46 years, Ford are scrapping the Fiesta. Who's really upset about it?
The Ford Fiesta Appreciation Club.
Yeah.
The FFAP.
The RNIB.
Yeah.
Yeah, not far off. The Sun's motoring correspondent, Rob Gill, was particularly upset.
Was he?
Yeah, he wrote this in an article. Like many of you, my first car was a Fiesta. It was the first car where I folded the seats flat. If you know what I mean. Maybe he meant more like this.
A car that's easier to park and a pleasant, airy interior. There's somewhere for odds and ends, somewhere for maps and books, and with the back seat folded down, even somewhere for the kitchen sink.
Why is the Fiesta being scrapped?
It's no good. It's an awful car. People have grown... The baby has grown up and has disappointed everybody by becoming a very rather awkward adult.
No.
No.
It's cost and the fact that people don't want to drive small cars anymore.
Don't they?
Yeah. Does anyone else think cars are too wide? Yeah. Watford Council do as well.
Oh, don't listen to them.
They had to widen a traffic calming bollard recently after drivers struggled to get through it. Have a look.
Oh, my God.
Cars continually hitting the same... That last one was a police car.
Who's this and what did he have to say about the Ford Fiesta this week?
Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, Vladimir Putin. Spot on. Spot on. That's George Williams.
It's Nick Mills.
Oh. Yeah, the well-known George Williams lookalike.
Yeah, it's Nick Mills, and according to The Sun, he's the UK's premier Fiesta expert who goes by the name Mr. Fiesta.
Fucking hell.
He said this week...
I think the microphone picked that up.
Sky News described the Fiesta as a British icon, but just how British is it?
Fiesta's a Spanish word, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ford's an American word. It's an American Spanish car.
The chair was invented in China.
Yeah. People were standing up for thousands of years. Or sitting on the ground.
Yeah.
Somebody said, there's got to be a happy medium.
Yeah.
As The Guardian revealed, it was invented in America, it's made in Germany, and it's got a Spanish name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I thought it was named after a porn mag.
I thought I recognised your face.
It wasn't my face you were looking at, was it?
I was trying to be polite.
In Which TV show is the Fiesta most famous for showing?
Oh, Only Fools and Horses?
No.
No?
A documentary about Nick Mills?
No. As Rob Gill revealed, it was once a prize on Bullseye. Let's take a look.
Let Bully's boys show you what you would have won. Come and have a look at it. There was your gamble, and you could have gone away with a... That's a beautiful Ford Fiesta. 50 miles to the gallon, English engineering at its very, very best.
It doesn't look right when it has to be pushed on by 3 blokes.
Yeah, it's actually much better than the usual prizes, which were things like this.
And treble night. Have a look at this. Have a look at this. It's an absolutely superb prize. Have a look at it. Watch it. It's a Bullseye fashion spree. A chance to splash out in style on a whole range of up-to-the-minute outfits from a leading fashion chain. Perhaps Dad would choose something elegantly informal, like this traditional blazer with casual check trousers and a trench-style raincoat.
The bloke who won the prize isn't going to look good in any of those.
In other motor-related news, how are white van men changing?
They're getting into more yoga and healthy eating.
Yeah, you're right. The white van man stereotype is changing, with reports that 20% would choose avocado on toast over a fry-up. Ian, what would you eat if you were a white van driver?
There's a marvellous bar, isn't there, called a Yorkie?
Have you ever had a fry-up?
Oh, yes. No.
This is the news that after 46 years, Ford have scrapped the Fiesta. Ford Fiesta is officially the country's favourite car, apart from the Uber that took Liz Truss away from Downing Street. Right, we move on now to round 2, the picture spin quiz. Fingers on buzzers, team. Sorry, Jamie.
Vladimir Putin again?
Yeah.
Here's the first one.
Prince Harry is releasing his memoir.
Yeah.
And it's called Spare.
Yeah.
And I think it's because he really loves bowling.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the news that Prince Harry has got someone to write a book for him.
This, I think, makes him the only person now to have authored more books than he's read.
Oh, that's a bit harsh.
It was. I take it back, I'm sorry.
What's he going to include in the book?
Well, apparently it's a really upbeat version of his life so far. It's celebrating the role of the monarchy, his happy marriage. It's a real feel-good book.
Yeah, at the press launch for the book, Harry said, "I'm not writing this as the prince I was born, but the man I have become. I've worn many hats over the years, including this one." Hopefully he includes as well the story about how he nearly drowned when he was wallowing in his own self-pity.
You said I was hard.
Yeah.
Right, in other royal news,
Yeah.
why is the House of Lords poking its nose into Charles's business?
Oh, this is over who takes over if Charles is ill or away. And at the moment, it's Harry and Prince Andrew, which is obviously not entirely satisfactory.
What do you mean if King Charles is away?
If there's official business to do, like waving...
Yeah.
You should do it the way Saddam Hussein used to do it. Just get a load of lookalikes.
Yeah, exactly.
And that boy was opening 8 community centres simultaneously.
According to the BBC, the issue was brought up in the House of Lords as a historic first after being raised by a Viscount, which is quite a moment, I guess, to hear from a talking biscuit.
Yeah. My favourite joke of the show so far.
Who are the 5 royal stand-ins and why are they a problem?
Who are they? They're Alan Titchmarsh.
Phil and Holly. They queued up to get that job.
Camilla, William and Beatrice are 3 of them, but obviously the real issue is the other 2, Andrew and Harry. It's not all changed for Charles, though. He's decided to keep the traditional royal wake-up call.
Yeah.
What's that?
Bagpipes at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
And it's been the case since Queen Victoria, I think.
Yeah, correct.
9 o'clock, a piper wakes them up with bagpipes. That guy must have had a lot of expensive pillows chucked at him.
So it's a musical alarm clock of sorts. Have a look.
So, Jamie, judging from your reaction, you're not a fan of bagpipes?
Not for 15 minutes at 9 o'clock in the morning.
What unfortunate incident befell one of Charles's royal stand-ins this week?
Oh, is this the Madame Tussauds story?
Yes. King Charles's waxwork in Madame Tussauds was targeted by climate change protesters. Let's have a look.
The time for words has moved to the time for action. Ladies and gentlemen.
Who still goes to look at waxwork likenesses?
I always think that, but there's always a massive queue outside it, isn't there? Yeah.
No, they're not real people.
Ah.
That's them stock taking.
The protesters explained the reason for the cake, saying, just stop new oil and gas, it's a piece of cake. There's been another spate of climate change stunt protests this week, so we're going to quickly go through them. I'll show you a clue, and I want you to tell me what the protest was.
OK. There's a picture of a potato and an artist.
Well, that was the one in Berlin, wasn't it? Potsdam. They put some mashed potato against the money and said it's all, you know, to end oil, it's a piece of potato.
Yeah, this week protesters in Berlin threw mashed potato at a Monet. Let's have a look.
Hello.
The thing is, it looks now like mash, does it? That's what I've learnt from that. The Germans don't know how to make mash. Mustard, isn't it? And finally, this week, climate change protesters staged a silent... I've just given you the thing before I've shown you the pictures.
Well, I saw a picture of Nadine Dorris and somebody else, but I didn't see... It came on and went away so quickly.
Yeah, sorry. And finally... I'll try that again.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
finally...
we had a laugh at Nadine for messing it up.
I know. Fair point. There have been several food attacks on paintings recently. Last week, it was soup on Van Gogh. This week, it was mashed potato on Monet. What next? My guess is eggs on bacon. Just Stop Oil are now into their 26th day of civil unrest. It's not going that well, especially compared to the success of Just Stop Gas, which Putin managed to do in just 5 minutes. Right, fingers on buzzers. Here's the next one.
Joe Biden has announced that he's going to run again for president, although he can barely walk, but he's going to run again, which will make him quite old. But, you know, the alternative might be rather grimmer than that.
How has Biden been trying to downplay doubts about his age?
Joined a basketball team.
Yeah, as a mascot. Is he he's been doing press-ups?
Yeah, he's been doing, the Washington Post noted that the US president was trying to show he's still with it by engaging in public displays of outdoor activities.
Yeah.
So here he is, out cycling in the summer.
Oh, God.
That's like a wheelie.
Oh, that's reassuring, isn't it?
Mentally, though, he's still sharp as a tack.
Let me start off with 2 words. Made in America.
Oh, dear.
Biden said the voters were right to be concerned about his health, adding that he could drop dead tomorrow. I mean, I've heard better campaign slogans than for you.
Vote for me today.
How did China deal with their ageing politicians?
Oh, in a slightly more dignified way than the Americans, by gently leading them out of the room.
Yeah, on my show, we make them get naked. We did that with Alan Johnson, former Home Secretary. Anyway, that's another story.
I don't think... not sure President Xi would come on.
You did?
I know, I'm desperate.
Yeah, 79-year-old former president...
I thought you were going to say 79-year-old Ian Hislop. I didn't realise it was a segue. Did you take your clothes off on Steph's show?
No.
You had to think about it, though, didn't you?
79-year-old former President Hu Jintao was mysteriously escorted out of the closing ceremony of China's Communist Party's Congress. Let's have a look at that moment.
There's a very special atmosphere there, isn't there?
You just want to stay in that room for the banter, wouldn't you?
In other world news, as President Xi tightened his grip on power in China, The Telegraph reported stocks plunge on fears for Chinese economy. I assume that was following a statement from his new finance minister, Kuo-teng. How has congressional hopeful for New York's 12th district, Mike Itkes, been trying to make himself stand out as a candidate?
Shaved his head. Been wrestling alligators at the zoo.
It's not far off, that, you know.
It's not far off him
Yeah.
wrestling an alligator.
Yeah.
He's,
A crocodile.
yeah, he's...
Oh, I know this one. I know this one. Go on. He's uploaded his own sex video to the internet. There's like a photo of... I've just seen a still from the very beginning of it.
Oh, yeah,
I did
Here
not
we go.
click on that thumbnail, believe it.
It's a one way to spoil a ballot.
In order to highlight his sex-positive approach, he has deliberately released a sex tape.
You said wrestling an alligator was close.
Yeah, wrestling, well...
Oh, the alligator bit wasn't the close bit,
No.
it was the wrestling bit.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's a shame.
I'm distracted by the sound of paper burning.
It's either that or crisps.
Oh, you think it's crisps?
No.
Oh, yeah, I can hear that rustling as well. Someone's got a bag of Maltesers in their pocket.
Finally, an audio round.
And the question is, what flavour crisps are they?
Right, it's time now for the odd one out round. Paul and Jamie, your four are
Right.
Alan Titchmarsh, Boris Becker, David Dimbleby and Macbeth.
OK, so Boris Becker's in jail.
He's in jail, yeah. Tax
Yep,
evasion.
Tax evasion. He's not got his job. Is it to do with jobs? 'Cause
No.
Is it about murdering all the people in front of you in line to the throne?
Well, who's David Dimbleby murdered?
I'll give you a clue.
Yeah, go on then.
It's quiet round their house.
David Dimbleby said he didn't have many friends.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, Macbeth, he didn't have many friends at all. Boris Becker has got one friend who he's sharing a cell with. And Alan Titchmarsh has got no friends at all, apart from a plant called Bert.
Isn't Alan Titchmarsh friends with Charles?
Yeah.
The odd one out is undoubtedly Alan Titchmarsh.
No.
Sorry, I meant David Dimbleby.
It's Boris Becker.
It is Boris
So they've all lost friends except Boris Becker, who's making friends in prison.
Is that what they call it these days?
He started doing yoga, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Is that what they're calling it these days?
The former world #1 has been instructing other prisoners in yoga. Well, you know, he's looking at a long stretch, isn't he? What else can Boris teach his fellow inmates?
Tax returns, how to have sex in a cupboard.
According to The Times, Boris is also sharing his knowledge on crisis management. What other surprising feature does Boris Becker's prison have?
Got a nice restaurant.
How do you know?
Been in a few times.
Along with a fitness centre, it also has a climbing wall. Or as most inmates call it, the perimeter fence. So what does David Dimbleby give as his reason for hardly having any friends?
He's not very good at small talk, I think he said.
Yeah, he told The Times, I'm not very good at chat.
If he meets someone, he says, yes, you, the man in the jumper.
Yeah, it's because he told The Times, I'm not very good at chat, although according to his wife, it's because he's a sociopath. So who is Alan Titchmarsh worried about losing as a friend?
Charles.
Charles.
Yeah, this week the celebrity gardener has revealed he's worried about his friendship with King Charles. Alan told The Times, I have no assumptions our friendship will continue. He's king now.
Do you think Charles views this relationship in the same way as Alan? Oh, my God, it's fucking Titchmarsh.
What was Alan's last and possibly final encounter with King Charles?
Was he on the bus during the Jubilee?
No, the night before the Queen passed away, the Express described the two as having had an intimate dinner, after which, according to Alan, Charles entertained guests by playing jaunty Scottish airs on a penny whistle. That's actually him calling the guards to get him out, isn't it?
That's the signal.
I bet the paper
First
wasn't
I'm
very
playing the
welcome.
penny whistle, just chuck the bugger out. Chuck him out.
I think you should be a stand-in. You should be a councillor.
Yes!
I have been approached.
Why did Macbeth lose his friends?
Well, he murdered Duncan, didn't he?
Yeah, he got rid of them all as a synopsis of the play reveals that Macbeth kills the king, becomes the new king, and kills more people out of a paranoia before civil war erupts to overthrow him. Like a Conservative Party leadership campaign. Yeah, they've all lost friends except Boris Becker, who's said to be making friends by teaching yoga to fellow inmates. Macbeth has given us many memorable lines, including, "When shall we three meet again?" Most recently seen in a WhatsApp group of Boris Johnson supporters. Ian and Hannah, your four are John Major, Bono, William Hague and Heston Blumenthal.
John Major's pretty upset about how he's being represented in The Crown.
This is a new lineup of U2 they've got together for Glastonbury.
I think they should have been called U4.
Are there four of them?
I think so.
Yeah.
So who's the other one out?
So, OK, if it's history, and then, I don't know, Heston did, like, food of the past, like oranges that were made of meat and stuff?
No, well, this is the answer, then. They've all objected to versions of history involving them, except Heston, who makes meat out of oranges.
There you go, that's our answer. Final answer.
Yeah, it's good, but it's not right.
OK, give us a clue.
The clue, they don't want to look back.
Oh.
I've forgotten.
Yeah, we've got nothing.
People are there.
So, John Major, Bono, William Hague and Heston Blumenthal.
John Major objected. He did object to the retelling in The Crown.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because The Crown said that Charles was actively trying to get John Major in a plot to force the Queen to abdicate, which is nonsense. John Major was very, very busy during his premiership with other things.
Edwina Curry.
Is Edwina Curry one of Heston's dishes?
She did bring it up again the other day.
Did she?
Yeah, she just... Not the curry.
What did she say?
She said... Oh,
That John Major, I've had him.
That was more or less. What's Hague objecting to?
Speaking at the Tory party conference when he was really young.
He said, I regret appearing as a teenager at the Tory conference because people thought I looked like a weirdo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And did Bono regret the iPod?
Not
No,
that,
he regretted the
but
mullet.
Yeah. Yes.
He regretted
Yeah.
being on... Was it Live Aid?
Yeah.
Wearing a mullet made by Heston Blumenthal.
Let's remind ourselves of it.
It was fashionable at the time, I suppose.
What, 1730?
Yeah.
So then is it John Major? Because all of the others regret something they did, and John Major doesn't like something that didn't happen.
Correct.
Ah, you are
Hey.
Yes. Yeah. They all regret something from early in their career, apart from John Major, who's unhappy with his portrayal in The Crown. What regret does celebrity chef Heston Blumenthal have about his cooking?
That manky porridge thing.
The chef, famous for creating elaborate, unique culinary delights, told The Guardian that he regrets making things too complicated. Although he might not have learnt his lesson, because a recent Times recipe for a Blumenthal bacon sandwich had 6 steps to it, including the key stage, butter 2 bread slices and sides. What did he say was the most accurate film about a 3-star Michelin restaurant?
Ratatouille.
He said it was Ratatouille. Heston also revealed he has a superpower. What is it?
Is it making fruit out of meat?
He told The Guardian, I can tell the temperature of a room within half a degree between 18 and 24 degrees Celsius by what my head is doing. Adding, I'm head thermometer man.
What does it do? Does it start spinning on its axis?
I mean,
23 degrees.
yes, they all regret something from early in their career, apart from John Major, who is unhappy with his portrayal in The Crown. John Major has got a lot of questions he wants to put to the producers of The Crown, the main one being, who's playing Edwina Currie? Bono has revealed that 20 years ago, former Russian leader Mikhail Gorbachev visited his home in Dublin. Now, if you want some idea of how extraordinary an event that was, imagine Vladimir Putin popping in to see Jedward. Time now for the Missing Words round, which this week features as its guest publication, Beer, the quarterly magazine of the Campaign for Real Ale, or as the magazine's subscribers call it, the usual. We'll start with, we would like to apologise to our members for failing to what?
We would like to apologise to our members for failing to apologise to our members in the last issue, which was the apology issue, but unfortunately the print has missed out the word apology, so the word apology didn't appear, but we would like to apologise to our members for failing to do that. Anything that fits.
We would like to apologise to our members for failing to list every single real ale event happening in Britain. There simply isn't enough space in the magazine for them, but if you visit our website, they'll be listed there, unless you don't have a computer, in which case we apologise again.
It'd have been some time before we guessed that, wouldn't it?
The term real ale event covers a lot of things, from sampling some local ales at a Dorset festival to your mate Terry soiling himself in a Wetherspoons.
Are you suggesting that Ian has a mate called Terry?
Yeah, me and him down spoons.
Have you ever been in one?
Of course I have.
What sort of person do you think Ian is? Have you ever had a fry-up? Have you ever been in a pub?
Yeah, but his answers are always no, so, like, I'm on to something here.
I was in a Spoons the other night.
What did you drink?
Oh, it's a bar.
Next. Villagers across the UK are reporting a worrying shortage of what?
Villagers.
Is it food?
Yeah.
Villagers across the UK are reporting a worrying shortage of bell ringers.
Oh.
Worrying shortage?
Yeah. There's no one to sound the death knell.
Yeah, tempers were frayed at a recent meeting of the Central Council for Church Bell Ringers as they couldn't agree on a recruitment strategy. In fact, the whole thing descended into a right ding-dong. Next. Drivers in Cornwall surprised by mysterious knitters who what?
Pearl one out on the road.
Killing cold blood. Knit speed limit signs.
Yeah, you're right. Drivers in Cornwall surprised by mysterious knitters who make woolen speed camera to slow people down. Let's have a look at it. Here's the knitted camera.
It's just a huge woolen square with 30 written on it.
Next, you can now buy what for your horses, but it will cost you what?
Tupperwares, but it will cost you freezer space.
You can now buy...
What can you buy?
Designer trainers for your horses, but it will cost you £1,000 per shoe.
Yeah, and your mental health. Who's going to buy designer trainers for a horse?
Here they are.
No!
This is the news that a shop called Horse Kicks will sell you designer trainers for your horse, and not, as you might have assumed, ketamine.
Aren't you going to ask Ian if he's ever tried ketamine?
Ian, have you ever tried ketamine?
Yeah. Yes, I have.
What happened?
He slept through one Prime Minister. Next.
Man gets chip implanted in his hand that allows him to what?
Masturbate furiously. It's like a blur. Says happy and excited Archbishop. Not saying which one.
Thought it was to attract seagulls.
Man gets chip implanted in his hands that allows him to pay for his shopping.
Oh. I still think that masturbating furiously should have got a bigger laugh. Very disappointed. I expected to get a hand anyway. I Yeah, I've got a groan. It's getting worse. I better leave it alone.
Is that what your mum said to you?
She said, leave it alone, otherwise you'll go... No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Turns out not an old wives' tale, yeah.
And finally, Britain's dullest man sells calendars featuring what?
Chipped hand man masturbating furiously.
Is it just really normal-looking firemen with their clothes on?
Britain's dullest man sells calendars featuring his favourite car parks.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, this is a car park representing the month of March. There we are. Now, I would show you April, but unfortunately the photo was taken at the peak of the dogging season.
Here's another question for Ian. I'll answer for him. We prefer not to talk about it.
So, the final scores are Ian and Hannah have 5, Paul and Jamie have 7.
Well done.
But before we go, there's just time for the caption competition. Ian and Hannah, you've got this.
Well, it's 2 clowns that aren't in government.
Don't look now, but Jacob Rees-Mogg has just walked in.
Has he?
Yeah. Sorry, it's the caption.
Paul and Jamie, get this.
Somebody's whispered in Joe Biden's ear.
That's not a urinal, Joe.
Apparently there's something you can have implanted in your hand.
And here's a bonus one for you both.
Oh, it's Nicola Sturgeon holding a pair of false teeth with a pair of eyeballs above it. Just trust me. It's actually Putin getting out of a car. This is all that's left of the Archbishop of Suffolk. It's the way he would have wanted to go. With a smile on his face.
On which note, we say thank you to our panellists, Ian Hislop and Hannah Fry, Paul Merton and Jamie MacDonald. And I leave you with news that in the Downing Street garden, Rishi Sunak begins to regret giving Therese Coffey the role of Environment Secretary. More disappointment for Kwasi Kwarteng after he decided to ignore his architect's advice and design his new house himself. And the intensity of the new BMW heated seats takes one man by surprise as he starts to feel his buttock implants melting. Good night.